What's up? Welcome back to the Lions Den. I'm your host, as you know, King Leo. And this episode is going to be a little bit different than the first one. In the first one, we had that strong debate about Ace comparing him to Queen's death and comparing Luffy to Gohan's character development. But in this episode, I want to kind of give you guys a personal look into my life and kind of where I've come from, kind of how anime impacted me. And I mean, funny enough, I never thought I'd be talking about anime or pop culture, but this episode, that's what we're gonna get into. So I really want to start off by just talking about my first ever kind of like view of anime, like my first ever look into it. My first ever anime, it was Dragon Ball, the Future Reborn movie. I remember I was maybe around like six, maybe five or six, and I had got my mom. She bought me the movie with Gogeta, Janemba, Goku and Vegeta. They fighting. And I watched that movie so much, bro. I can't even count the times of how many times I watched that movie. And I thought it was just a normal cartoon. Honestly, I didn't even think it was anything different from like SpongeBob or just like the Power Rangers or anything like that. I was just like, okay, well, I mean, it's animated, of course, but I wasn't really thinking nothing like it, like, oh, this is a Japanese cartoon, or this is like not even a cartoon at all, because anime is more than cartoons, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later into this episode. But yeah, so Dragon Ball was my first, and then it kind of just got deeper there. My brother, he really got me into anime, like really kind of got my foot in the rabbit hole, so to speak. Because after Dragon Ball, it was just kind of on from there. Because I started watching on Toonami, Naruto, Dragon Ball, One Piece would even come on there, and like, bro, it's just like a lot, and it was like a crazy, like a new feeling, like you being that kid, like you see something new, and it's just kind of like wow, like you want to learn more about that, and then it just kind of becomes like it's more to it. Because when I started going to school, kind of I was kind of an awkward kid back then. It was just like you go to school and you kind of growing up being shy and kind of like a old kid. You're not really like talking to people. Like somebody look at you be like, I don't know who you is. And, people trying to be friends with you. You don't really, you feel me? So kind of anime became like my just escape just from that. Not really having too many friends growing up and also being like shy, but being able to come home and just see like that cool and that just like kind of like cool, just different kind of this thing that's different from regular cartoons, and then just seeing that, and it's just like wow, it's like a whole different experience. But the point where I realized the anime was more than just a cartoon, and like I really started, like I told you earlier, my foot was in the rabbit hole. Now we like deep in the rabbit hole. Like we watching more than Dragon Ball. My first ever actual, not saying Dragon Ball is not actual anime, because of course it is, but my like when I realized what anime was, and this show has become my favorite show. And in later episodes, we're gonna talk about this show because I'm tired of people saying this show is trash. When this show, I will argue up and down, is the best anime to ever be created, and that's Fairy Tail. My brother introduced me to Fairy Tail when I was in middle school, maybe like sixth grade, maybe or like early seventh grade. And he was like, "You ever seen this show?" I was like, "Nah." I was like, "What's that?" You feel me? And so I started watching Fairy Tail, bro. After episode one, I'm already hooked. And that was like back when it was on Netflix, back before I even knew like what Crunchyroll or Funimation was. And they only had like the first few episodes. It was like the season where they was fighting Aragorn. Then it was the Tower of Heaven arc, that chapter with Jalal and Urza's backstory. It was that one. And then it was the Battle for Fairy Tail arc. And bro, when I tell you Fairy Tail really changed a lot for me. Fairy Tail, it was one of those animes that it kind of just became like my safe place. And it even helped me come out of my comfort zone. Like even before I was coming out my comfort zone then, because like Dragon Ball was my first, and even Pokemon was kind of like my first, because I just really thought it was just like normal cartoons, but even Pokemon was like around my first. And I mean, I had friends that were like back in like fifth grade, fourth grade, even third. they were like into Pokemon, but like me not really knowing what anime was, they weren't really into too much other shows like that, like anime shows. Like, and me just thinking it's regular cartoon, I'm just thinking everybody cool, everybody like it, you feel me? But middle school was when I really realized that like it's a battleground for that junk. Like it's a battleground for this thing. And that's kind of the crazy part about it. Because I thought everybody was with anime. But I didn't know it was like just like a select few of people. People they started calling me like a nerd and junk, calling me weird, and I'm just like, damn, I thought we was all fucking with it. But and then like the same niggas is telling me that I'm weird and I'm a freak and all this junk. Nigga come talking to me at lunch talking about One Punch Man. My nigga, I'm like, ain't that an anime though? Like, you feel me? But Fairy Tail, that kind of, even though I was getting bullied for liking this stuff that was different, Fairy Tail was my escape for that. And being able to see like Natsu with his friends fighting the odds, fighting against people that ain't believe in them, you feel me? Fighting against people that really wasn't for them was what gave me kind of like a hope, or kind of gave me that just kind of comfort feeling that I can fight against the odds too. That I can fight against people that's not really for me, or people that like want to see me fail. And then it just kind of just became like my thing. I mean, despite like what people said, just coming like being at school with all that, like, yeah, okay, you say that, that's cool. You talking junk about it, I don't really care. Go home. Anime was my decompress. It was like my decompression from all that stuff. I mean, I come home, watch some Fairy Tail, watch some Dragon Ball, look at some Naruto fight clips on YouTube. Like, bro, that was just like everything just went away. Like, it was just like bump what they saying. I'ma still rock with it. I ain't about to change me just because somebody else ain't rocking with it. You feel me? And then it also just kind of helped me reflect on myself, because instead of just watching anime, I kind of looked at it as like a mirror, and I kind of started seeing myself in the characters, because even seeing like them go through pain, like Naruto not having friends, and then him gaining friends, like a clique of people that were for him. And then, I mean, that even, because I mean, back in middle school, of course I had friends. I mean, you don't stay down forever. Like, you gotta come out your comfort zone at some point. I mean, I had friends, and they cool. I mean, I'm still friends with some of them today, and I mean, that's just how it be. That's a problem. I mean, that's some real people. If you still friends with them from middle school and y'all still tight like that, I mean, that's some real niggas right there. But and we all, the funny thing, like we all with anime too, and that's what I'm saying. But it's just like, I guess I feel like it's kind of with anime, it's more mainstream now, so a lot more people they really like it. A lot more people really with it. Before, like back then, a lot of people like really like they didn't really like a lot of stuff that was different. And even today, a lot of people don't like they hate what's different because everybody just trying to fit in. But in anime, it's kind of like the different is good. Like different is kind of like the better, because you see in anime, you got a power system. Everybody got the same kind of power. Okay, yeah, it's cool. Like we seen that before. But then you got like some dude pulling up with like some power that nobody ever seen. Like for my favorite anime, an example. Shoot, they got the Dragon Slayers, but the God Slayer pulled up. Zonkro pulled up on them on the Tenro Island. They ain't never seen that before. Like Nasu looking like, like what is this? And like, that intrigued them a bit. Like the new, like just the different aspect of it really just impacted me. And it really just kind of, and it even drove me to do this. Cause I mean, you see, I'm sitting here talking through a mic on camera about anime. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing this, sitting in a middle school desk, getting bullied for it. I never thought I'd be sitting here talking about it, especially not on a camera. Coming from being shy and being meek and mild to talking on camera with a mic and posting it online. And then, I mean, that's another reason like it inspired me, because I've always been intrigued with anime, but I guess I never really, until I got into college, going into my freshman year, Cause really not even college. In high school, I wanted to, but I never really had the chance. Cause with doing sports, I never really had the chance to do this. But in college, I have had the chance and I have done it, and that was building a safe space for other anime lovers. Because throughout my life, that's what I felt, that I've never had a safe space to just love and show my appreciation and love for anime. But in college, I have been able to do that with making a club, anime club. And that's kind of also what's inspired me to do the pod, to create the Lions Den, talking about anime and pop culture. And of course, my personal life too, in some episodes, because I just want to build a safe space that I never had when I was a kid. I want to have that safe space for people that love anime, that love pop culture, and just have a place where they can come and they can decompress. Because I've seen it all too many times with like some parents being like, you just watching some cartoon, or you just watching some craziness, or you just doing this. Like, why don't you don't go outside and play with the other kids, or why you don't find some after school activity? But for some kids, they don't have that. For me, I wasn't that kid back in middle school or elementary school that had that after school activity, that had them kids you can go outside and play with. For me, anime was my escape from that reality of not having those friends after school to go and play with, you feel me? Or having those after school activities to go and do. And even for some kids, even still today, they don't have that. But having anime and having a love for anime and having anime in their life gives them that escape that for some kids, speaking from like a middle school aspect or an elementary school aspect, or even some kids, a high school aspect. For me personally, in high school, I did have that after school activity with sports and stuff. And I did kind of have like the friends kind of to hang out with after, school and stuff. But even for some kids, like even in high school, they don't have those friends or even those activities to do, and anime, gaming, and all of that is their escape. That is their football. That is their basketball, their baseball, their cheerleading. That is their beta club. That's their debate team. That's their spelling bee team. That's their friend to them. That is their friend. That is how they decompress, how they escape from the harsh realities of school, the harsh realities of home, the harsh realities of trauma. That's how they cope with those things. And with some kids, it even starts younger, and that is their way to cope with those things. But that's why I hope from this episode that I just hope you don't lose that love for anime just because people tell you that it's weird, or call you odd, or call you a freak, or call you this and that. Don't lose that love for anime. Keep that love for anime. Keep that love for what you love. Don't let somebody deter you from something that you hold dear and that you hold close to you. Don't let somebody take it away from you, because they might not know how much it has saved you, how much it has saved your life, but you know how much of an impact it has had in the story of your life. And I hope that you all carry that with you.